Hello, greetings, and welcome back to Hardcore Mars Survival. I have food and power secured for my immediate survival needs. Oxygen is a bit volatile, but I know where there is a surface ice deposit, and I've got an oxygen tank on my rover, so should be good for the moment. My next steps should be to gather more resources and refine them into ingots and make components so I can continue to build and explore. Today's project is going to be a resource mine. Not just any mine will do. I want to build a static drill rig that has the ability to reach any depth. An infinite drill rig, if you will. Before I build the static drill rig, I need a good place for it, meaning I need to decide which ore to collect first. Iron is the most logical choice, especially to prepare for the construction of large buildings. I'm going to need a ton of iron. Silicon and nickel are also good choices, but I think I can get plenty of these three from ancillary collection of stone, even if that's not my primary collection. Cobalt's a key resource to make metal grids, to build thrusters and such, but I won't need many of those to develop my industrial capacity for now. Magnesium's mostly used for ammunition, and I don't think it's super important right now. Gold is necessary for superconductors to make yield modules on my refineries, which will let me get more out of any future ore refinements that I put into them. Silver will let me make the next tier of hand tools, which I'm going to want if I'm going to continue to build, and medical components for cryopods and other technologies that I can unlock. Ice is also going to be nice, so I can have plenty of oxygen. That'll also open up water for irrigation and farms, but I want industry before I go for agriculture. There is no uranium or platinum on the surface of Mars, so no need to search for those resources. I should be able to find all these resources in about 5-kilometer radius or so of my base, so I'll just mark these deposits as I move around. On Mars, I'm looking for these white spots on the surface, which are easy to spot against the orange contrast. I think I want to go for gold and silver first. They're going to be the biggest boon to my immediate future. Gold and silver can usually be found together in thin layered patches deep beneath the planet's surface. This will be a good practical test for a continuously advancing drill rig. The drill rig is going to be a bit of a challenge. The concept is practical and cool, and we have the vanilla automation to enable its function, and we've already unlocked the technology to make it happen. I've got a concept for what the crawling drill rig should be. The drill rig itself is actually going to be mobile and hang down from an advanced rotor on the static conveyor pipe that it will build as it continues to advance. It'll move forward on its pair of pistons with the welder at the front to construct additional pipeline and future attachment points. The drill head itself is just going to be a row of drills to clear out and collect material for the system. And then I just need a few blocks for some logic to advance everything based upon the rotation of the drill head, and detect the extension of the pistons so it can detach, contract, expand, and reattach, and advance again. That's a lot for a concept, and it could probably use some quality of life items too, such as sorting and dumping waste materials, monitoring collection, automatic shutdown when it's at capacity, or offloading ore, calling for vehicle offload to collect its bounty. But no plan survives first contact, and I can expect a lot of issues I'll have to work out from my initial draft. Infinity drills are not a new concept in space engineers. They can be useful for large-scale excavation projects, to level large areas, bore massive tunnels, and even assemble their surrounding structures as they advance. Now that we have our chosen ore field, we want to get as close to that ore deposit as possible. With our hand drill out, we can see some nearby ores. Our rover's ore detector can also locate these ores and relay its location through our suit antenna, but we're not using that right now. We can just look down and move left and right, forward and backward until we get as close to our ore as possible. Here we're looking for gold. He's about as close as we're going to get. We can only get close to the ore detection marker. We can't guarantee that that marker is the center of the deposit or the closest to our surface. So somewhere around here is a good location for that drill head to set, and I'm just going to build the platform out toward the rover. We're also pretty close to our rover with parking, so that'll make it easy to go back and forth, get some materials, and hide from the sun while we build. I've got some girders on me. Just a single one, I can place a 3x3 window, which is going to make a large flat area to build off of. This is way cheaper than a bunch of steel plate or more light armor blocks. These large windows can be annoying to place just because they want to attach on the center of their edge. So getting to the right position with our limited placement range can be difficult. Placing blocks is way easier in creative mode. With a few of these windows in place, I can bring the rover around and use the drill's terrain clearing feature to remove some voxels without collecting it. Because I have the window embedded in the voxel, I won't fall too far. The glass will catch the rover as I clear out the voxel. And hopefully it won't create a hole from which I can't escape with the rover. Driving on blocks can be awkward. The rover doesn't like to turn like it does on the voxels. It just feels like there's a whole ton of friction. Just be patient and get close enough to that window edge to cut into the hillside to get enough space to place the next window. Building into the side of the hill like this is a bit safer than extending a platform and creating a precipice of death. It's also a lot easier because I don't have a jetpack or any other kind of specialized vehicle to help me get that reach. I have a bit more voxel material to clear out of the backside here to let me on and off easier, and I've got the reverse camera on the rover to help with that. I can just extend the platform back a bit more and use some of these ramp blocks to save more PCU and building material. These ramps can also be a bit annoying to place, so I'll have to remove some of these voxel material so I can get their attachment points at the tip to connect. I just need to go get some more building materials and continue my earthworks for the drill platform. Ideally, I'd have a slew of specialized vehicles for this construction and a ton of material excess for this project, but I'm just going to have to reconfigure my rover and brute force my way around the best I can. And now we need to talk about placing stuff for the drill. Drill head was going to sit here. Actually, starting it back here somewhere would be good. And this is all a static grid, so as I build off of this, it's going to be a static grid too. And I think it's just easier for me to think about where it starts and pushing itself forward as far as naming and timing everything. If I start at the top end and think of the rotating drill head as the bottom side. I'll have to scooch back a handful of blocks. I can start placing my pistons to extend itself away from the rail that I intend to create for it, or for itself to create rather, and then build things coming forward this way. So I can start building that, I think, here. And now that I've got this bit of working space established, I can fix some lights and get ready for that project. Food and good and... I'm glad I wasn't in there, but... Whoa. Whoa, uncalled for. Dang! Okay, well, new highest priority is I can no longer do anything until I get this rover back online. So let's get that done. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. That's insane and terrifying at the same time. So the cockpit's gone. Oh, yes, my food. Food is absolutely essential. Oh, I bet I lost the no, okay, the oxygen tank's still there. I think that one's, yeah. Oxygen tank's still there. So we have a little bit of time, I guess, before we die, but we have no way of controlling this from where we're at right now. Just stuck, apparently. Wedging ourselves under. And yeah, so that wheel's still good. These plates are still good. This is separated from the grid. I don't need it. I need a cockpit on here. Lickety split. And I'm... Oh god, the sun's coming up too. Okay. Sun's coming up. Ow. Struck by debris because it's a fun storm. That's going to be really, really bad for me. Get a cockpit on here, like, right now. Put these food things in. I need... Bad timing. Very, very bad timing. Cockpit go. Let's get you on here. I can't place you down there. Can't place it on the... where it was at, just because there's stuff in the way. You can go away. I need... Can you sit? Can you not sit there? Why? Because the wheels are in the way. Sorry things, you have to go. Greebles. Okay. That can go too. Sorry, lights. Yeah, you weren't really on there anyways. Let's get this in place. Maybe I've got enough stuff for it. I hope so. If not, I have to do a run. Displays. I don't have enough displays. And computers. I don't have enough computers either. But you do have displays and computers. I only have two. How many computers do I need? I need more than what I've got. That the wind turbine have computers. Did. You got 2 and 2 is 4 and I needed 5. Right? Yeah, I need 5. So even if I took your displays, I don't have enough computers. So I have to go and run. Because I can't build anything here either. I can't eat. Crap, 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 crap. Let's go run. H. Okay. Oh, it's just a 2-kilometer run. Oh, what a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. At least I've been eating, so I can run faster, but at the same time, I don't have a... Oh, crap. Well, maybe that's a good thing to think of for the future, too, is to have a backup vehicle everywhere because of the distances involved with what I'm doing. I really... I guess I need to reprioritize what I want to do. Not only do I need this mine up and running, I need to get my vehicle up and running, and I need to make, like, mobile defense turrets to drive around with me wherever, like on a trailer, and I can park it, and then that can shoot down all these meteors because I did not have a healthy respect for meteors. And now I do. And now the terrain is killing me. which is also not fun. Or not the terrain as much as the environment. Not fun indeed. Not fun indeed. At least it didn't hit my cargo container I've got there. Whether the ones on the rover itself. Oh, it could have taken out the battery for the rover. That would have been even worse. Oh, dang. You know, talk about getting struck by a meteor. I could have got hit by so much worse. So much worse there. I should have other stuff in there already. Maybe that's enough. Yeah. It should be enough. And now we gotta run back 2 kilometers. Actually, before I run back, let me go heal myself. Because I'm here at the base, and I'm missing health. Oh, the base got hit too. That's definitely not good. The base got hit with meteors. Definitely need to get some magnesium then. Definitely need some magnesium. Is anything substantial damage? Nothing here. Nothing here. Okay. Oh boy. What a day. And thankfully it's not morning, because if it were morning, I'd probably be dead already. Oh, just think about that nightmare. If this happened during the day, I would have died from radiation exposure getting to the base. Because I couldn't do anything here. Because that rover's dead. And that was my only means of transportation. Yeah, that could have been the end of the run already. Oh, wow. What's a good title for the video then? Cloudy with a chance of meteors? That's terrible. We'll get the rover set up. Push it off to the side or something. Like, then I can actually start thinking about doing the one thing that I've been trying to do this whole time. Let's get you back online. You don't have any of the components in you. Do I not have gyroscopes? Yeah, like, I can roll. GY. Gyroscope 1 has a small override. Just let you do your thing. There we go. Now we're out of there. And I don't even want to leave you as is right now. I kind of like that cockpit being in the center. I think we're just completely stuck under there. Okay. That's the easy way to do it. Okay then. That's done. Let's get these guys back out here. Okay, workspace floor reestablished. And, well, with the sun coming up and the obvious danger to my workspace, should probably establish an overhead. Now, I think it's finally time to get to work. Drill on this side, starting on this side. So let's start back here, maybe. Start here. And then I need to be able to walk up there. You. And then make a cargo container back over here. Couple of pistons. They can extend forward. Another cargo container. There we go. And then this whole thing I want to ride on pistons so it can stay further away. That's where you guys come back in. Another couple of pistons here. You will get the rotors, advanced rotors, so we can place things forward. And 0 is your front. 0 is your front too. There we go. That'll be good. These are going to need to sit on cargo containers themselves. And I can just tube it in between. Oops. Yep, I've already messed up again. Let's go and talk to... Should put a chair in here. There we go. I can look at that. Let's talk to my rotors before they move again.
Meteors.
You are fine. You are not. I want you to be rotor locked. You will never rotate on me. Same thing with you. You should never rotate on me. Maximum braking torque. Maximum braking torque. See if I can eke you forward. Perfect. 0, 0. Now you will rotor lock. You will also rotor lock. You'll never move on me again. That's where I want you guys, is to not move. Then you come across here and here. There's actually going to be another space in there. Yes. Yes, I think there needs to be another space in there. You will build you up first. And come back over to my seat. Let's advance you. Your minimum distance will be 2.4. I want to make it so that you never come back all the way closed. I want you to merge together. Merge block. Merge block goes right there. Okay. Piston. Trailing piston. We're at 2.4 at the moment. We need to come backwards. 0. You know what? That's going to be 2.6. It's going to be more than a block, so I should just put an extra conveyor junction in there.
The blueprint is a good rough start for the project, but some things become more clear once you start working with the materials and making adjustments to the build. My draft design was okay for a start, but once I started freestyling, I encountered a lot more problems than I had planned for. First, I thought the pistons that advanced the drill forward could be optimized. I adjusted the piston side so that an extra conveyor junction could be inserted to take full advantage of the piston extension. This would also call for an extension of the pipe segment side to 6 conveyor junctions in between the junction to advance the drill. Either way, I could have worked it, but I second-guessed myself a lot while I worked through this process. Next, changing the design to have a pair of pistons push the drill away from the base pipe required a bit more improvisation. 2 conveyor junctions were needed in between the locking rotors, and the new extenders allowed the welder to stay in place near the pipeline so it could build the pipeline as it advanced the drill. Throughout this whole process, I had to stop and label each functional block as I placed it to ensure that I could use it appropriately in the logic program that was to follow. Merging the pipe segments and adjusting the limits of the trailing piston was a bit tricky. If the piston was not stopped in a suitable position, it would cause torsion on the drill, the phantom forces that would shake itself apart. For now, the multiple parts of this build are static, which gave a false sense of safety, and all the more reason to test them before I stood it up and it blew up. However, when this build was complete, only the pipe segment will be static. Most importantly, I must not turn the side of the build that is attached to the platform into a mobile grid. It'll turn the entire grid into a mobile grid that's embedded in voxel, which would cause it to explode, destroy everything. So, as I'm working this, I have to be very careful when testing and switching things between mobile and static grids. A main component of this drill rig is actually the main conveyor shaft that the drill will build from a projection. I need to build this projection first, then the crawling drill rig can weld as it goes. This pipe has to be the same as the segment that I've built on the drill rig already, and that's a conveyor junction followed by 6 conveyor pipe and another conveyor junction. One more critical element of this is the correct position of the piston head. 0 position on the piston head is the side with the line on it, and that must be facing forward for all of these rotors. Else, the rotors will attempt to wrench the drill rig around, since the rotor heads are attempting to achieve a new alignment with the new 0. The logic is a bit convoluted, and I spent way too much time double checking myself. So here's what I used.
I also need to get this main conveyor pipe blueprinted. I built a separate segment over here, and it doesn't matter if it's built because the drill will build it as it welds. The drill can have an infinite extension if the blueprint from these segments is also contained in the projector on the segment that it will rebuild and continue to project for further welding. For now, about 60 meters of pipe is all I need to reach gold, and that's what I've got here. Here again, all advanced rotor parts must have the 0 degrees line facing forward. Okay. So I just need it to stand upright and be in a good position. So if my conveyor junctions need to be here, I can make a hinge here, and then it should be able to stand itself upright. Let's come off this rig so we're still aligned to the same grid. You can come here. As I stand this up, the hinge is upright. Then I'll just push this whole structure over once more, because I don't want it to be in the way as I lift it up. And that's why we have the riser pieces to push it further out too. But I need it to stand upright. So the hinge will go up, and I'll actually have the pipe coming off of this side. That way it doesn't try to collapse under its own base, if that makes any sense. Then I could put a hinge on here. Set a hinge. Which way are we going? Hinge I can't not see. We'll do minus. Now we can weld you up. We need to give you some more clearance too. Then we'll give it some braking torque and a velocity of -1. Now it can lie down, and we should be in line for this. We'll actually do 2, just in case I want conveyor access to everything. So we'll come out here. This is where I'll actually put my rotor part. So this will be the actual pipe segment coming through here. That one's just in case I need a connection to anything, because this is going to be the true pipe path. We get these guys in place, and then we also need a couple of rotor tops. And again, we want to make sure that that line is facing forward, and that is our 0 direction. Yep. Let's get you all welded up, then we can push the drill into place, finish its logic, and we should be good to go after that. Wishful thinking. Let's go. My rising pistons are my height offset. go reverse. So they're extending. Excellent. That's what I want to see. And once we get close, closer, off. Because I don't want you to move. And I can do that a little better than this. Those rotors both need to attach. You two, I will have you attach. It's not happy because I just ripped this mobile grid over. But what I'm going to do now is for you. Perfect. So now the mobile parts should be mobile and the static parts should be static. Actually, none of it's static right now. Let's talk to the drill. Our pistons, our rising pistons, height offset pistons. You guys are at a 0 right now. Let's turn you back on. 0 is fine, but I want you to have a velocity of 1, which you're not moving. Do you need more power? Yeah, apparently so. You just need a little more power. Okay, perfect. And that was probably the problem all along. We'll reverse because we don't want our drills pushed out that far. But we have successful movement of the piston risers, which is great. So I can lift this entire rig and it should rotate into place. I'll have to move these parts out of the way. That'll be fine. And I'll also have to clear out a bit more overhead. Also fine. I just need to finish the logic and then we can start drilling. Okay, perfect. Yes. Yes. Great. That is excellent. That is excellent. Because another other thing is I need to get you guys in a rotation. That needs to get static. This needs to get in a rotation, and I need to clear out enough of this platform to go down. I want to put a landing gear up there so that I can fix that position and then turn it into a permanent static grid. The landing gear will make it a partial. It's a matter of placing it first, because then I could put another block in the voxel and it'll attach to it. Armor block. Just enough in the voxel. And then this mag plate. Let me catch that. That'll do it. That makes this guy a static grid. I can't place a block there, but what I can do is put my control panel back up. You, pipe segment, are a station. Which is really going to piss off that hinge. But now that it's actual station, it can build itself down. Yep. And I've broken the 2 subgrids because this is static and so is that. I wonder how well that's going to play together. I don't know how that's going to play together. We're in unknown territory here. Goofing around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 blocks from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which means this piece of glass has to go. And everything up to this point. Let's get that drill on and rotating. Rotor. Drill head rotor. Maybe even less speed. On. Are you locked? Drill head, rotor. Rotate for me. You guys should be able to clear out all of that terrain No problem. Are you guys gonna hit the other side there? You're gonna hit that. That's my power tower at the moment. I should have put a tower up there before I rotated up. And that way, that would be providing power to everything. Our other problem is that we need to clear out a bit more space for those drills. What I could do is spin this the other way and add a horizontal drill. Drills, CDR drills plus U, all terrain, all on. Drill head rotor, on, and get you back in that orientation. Then you can go and terrain clear out that way. There we go. Nicely done. Use the drill to come across and clear its own path. That drill's not going to stay there anyways, so it's too easy just to remove it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the rig already, so we should be smooth sailing from there. That's going to give me the maximum area that I can rotate through. Ah, crap. And it just killed itself. I'm going to turn that drill off. Looks like we stopped spinning. I need to check something out over here. Need a better viewing angle or something here. Need to cut this because you shouldn't have done it yet. Oh. That's going to be dangerous. Dangerous and potentially harmful. And maybe that welder just needs to be adjacent to the rotor. So where it's at, it's welding in advance, which is fine.
Storm inbound.
But if it's welding too far in advance, then it's going to drop that next pipe segment in place. And that's going to be bad because then the rest of the rotation drill head is not going to be able to move around. Whoa, that one was super close. Super close there too. So if this gets close enough, it's going to weld a whole other pipe segment in its place. And because it can weld it, it will. Then this... Maybe I need to turn the welder off? Can't be. Can't be having to toggle it all the time too. Yeah, so there's a big problem. Big problem. I'm glad I was watching it when it was doing that. If I set you here, you shouldn't weld too far in advance. Dropping. We're clear there. You can't weld. That's fine. But I did see the advance. So that's looking pretty good then. I also need to make sure that it's able to weld everything on there before it gets to it. I think it should be fine. Trying to drill or trying to weld up. Yeah, I already see it trying to push through to that conveyor. Got it. If you get the piston part next, looks like it's got it. Okay, so this was a big thing, getting the piston part welded. I think the problem was that the welder, when positioned to the rear of this apparatus, would not consistently weld the rotor head, but moving it to the front not only welded the welder head in time, but also the next conveyor junction. which stopped the drill head from rotating under
Meteor
and stopped
storm
the progress
inbound.
of the entire apparatus. Now we've got it on the side, so parallel with that rotor head, and it's going to be able to weld the rotor head and that connection junction on there. We just saw it move pretty much in place. So let me go look at the logic because we're at time for that to start happening now. Just waiting on that rotor head to revolve around now, and then the drill will advance. Okay. Almost too good. So we connected, and you're trying to get here, but you didn't retract enough. So let's do drill head rotor. Drills. Turn you off for a second. Drill head rotor can also turn off for a second. Piston did not retract enough. The distance. That's height offset. I don't care about you guys. Not at the moment. You're at 0. You're at 2.1 because I set your minimum to 2.1, but I'm off about 2.1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I use the wrong projection? I had to have used the wrong projection because this only built 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need 6 in there. That's why we're off 2.5 meters. Like perfectly off 2.5 meters is what it looks like. Let's try again with the correct number of segments in place. Waiting on that drill head to come around. And we missed it. No, we got it there. I see it contracting in the shadow. Got it. And then we connected up top. And we are rotating. Excellent. Brilliant. Well, at least it worked. That rear timer connect is still going. Well, that's very wobbly. I don't like how wobbly all that is. Maybe if I put stuff over here, or a gyroscope over there with no zero override, that way it doesn't move. I don't know. What I do know is we got to be getting close to that ore, although I can't prove it. That looks like it's chipping away at gold. Yeah, there we go. And we've struck gold. Fantastic. Well, that's what I really wanted to do. I wanted this thing to be running on its own, able to drop down to get gold. But what I really wanted was some silver too, because with silver, I could make better tools. Because that's what I really need, is some better silver or some better tools. Better tools will get me welding faster by hand, but I need a machine to do that because things like that platform down there, I can just make like a Zamboni of steel plate layer, which I'm going to need for any building I do. Yeah, because that's a lot of hand welding. So let's think about this and probably run down there with the drill just to get some silver. I have a little bit of gold here. A lot of gold there. Yep. So I just need to go find some silver as everything is working very, very well now. Yeah, I'm going to go by hand getting there. Silver is that way. Gold is there. I've got it. Yeah. We did pretty good hitting that gold mine.
Meteor storm inbound.
And knowing where it's at now, I can actually... I was trying to extend the drills away, but it's actually right here where I was digging at it. So I can even retract the drills. Not really. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're pushed way too far in there. Because we're... drill head rotor off, drill head rotor off. Because we're going so much slower on the drill rotation, it extended way too far. So I need event controller U for like a second. 59, 3, 59. That's like the only thing that you can do. My pistons, advancing pistons need to reverse. I can also make the piston advance slower so it doesn't move as far now that the entire drill head arm is moving slower, and that should prevent this again. Probably a few more tweaks down the road, but this is looking good. Let's get it restarted, then we'll be good.